Hey there, welcome to Tod Talks, the podcast where we're shining a light on brilliant local businesses making life better for families with little ones. I'm Bill from Toddler and in each episode we'll have a natter with one of our amazing partners, finding out what makes them tick, how they're helping parents and how being part of the Toddler family is helping them thrive. So grab a cuppa, put your feet up if the kids will let you, and let's dive in. Hello.
Hello, Bill. Lovely to be here. Yeah. Thank you for inviting us.
So we've got Lisa and Helen from the Hampshire Hospitals Charity, Toddler About North Hampshire and West Berkshire's chosen charity.
Yep.
Thank you.
I always start with, rather than I make a complete hash of it, in your own words, tell us all about the charity.
Okay, so we are the NHS charity that has been set up to support the Andover, Basingstoke and Winchester Hospital. So every penny that comes into the charity goes into those hospitals, and we support every single ward, department, any area of those hospitals that needs help. And we support the staff and we support the patients and also their families. So our main focus is how can we make it better? What can we do to help them improve things? What can we do to enhance patient care and make our staff feel loved and, give them a little bit of a boost now and again, because it's a tough job. And if the staff are happy and then the patients receive better care from happier people. And it's all part of that big circle of care.
That's so lovely. I think this is where I felt really confident to get involved, because we obviously met through networking. I was networking for the business, trying to get out there, trying to promote Toddle About, and I just seemed to see you everywhere. And I was like, right,
Hi, Bill.
I'm at the right places because Lisa's here. That's that. And
is that how it's judged locally? Is it if Lisa's here, I'm in the right place?
It's got to be a good one.
That's good to know.
Yeah. You're sort of like a tally chart of level of this is where to be because Lisa's there.
Oh, that's lovely.
Like the get ahead that I was starting to do on Thursdays.
Yep.
I haven't been for ages because obviously we've bought into the South Bucks magazine and that's South Bucks Day. I've got to be there on Thursdays because that's when people want me.
Yeah, so. and that is the thing. So, as much as we have our own networking, because we love to engage with local businesses, and we're absolutely delighted that, you've decided to choose us as your charity. I mean, it's invaluable for us. We're quite new as a team, so we've been together just over 18 months. We're coming up for 2 years, kind of August, September time. So, we're getting our name out there and talking about the charity and why it's needed is massively important for us. So when a local business chooses to support us, it's a big thing, and we're really pleased.
Very much.
You're more than welcome, because it's like I can see a complete synergy, and there's loads of we're doing the same thing for the same reason. Yeah. We're a community magazine, and the advertisers can pay for the ad space. They fund the magazine, and all the cool events. So we obviously caught up at the Lions Picnic a couple of months ago. So that was really cool. Yep. So it just, you said 18 months. Is the whole charity only 18 months old?
No, the team.
Oh, the team.
So the charity's been there for a long time.
Okay.
But it didn't have a team of fundraisers going out and talking to people and telling people about the charity and engaging with the public and engaging with the, with the businesses in the area, which means that we're not as well known as some of the other local charities. So it's important that we, raise awareness and people know why we're here and what we do. So
the Lions Picnic down at Winchester Rugby Club, that was so fun. I brought my kids, brought my dog.
You were our neighbours. we loved having you as neighbours.
Great day.
So just tell me more about, for example, you run these events. We've got the Lions Picnic. You got any ideas of what that raised and where that's going?
Yeah, so the Lions Picnic was, Morgan's still doing things on that, but between £1,800 and £2,000 is what we raised. It's more of a community event because it's a free entry event.
It was so fun.
And it's really child-centric. Yeah. But it was born a couple of years ago out of us trying, well, not us, but some of the previous team. What they were trying to do is raise money for our children's ward in Winchester. So, I'm born and raised in Andover and Winchester, and now I live in Basingstoke. So I've used that children's ward. Most of my family were born and raised in the area. So we've all used those wards. But with that, it hasn't changed a lot over the years. So we set up a Lions appeal, and that was to make sure that we could go in and we could have individual rooms and other refurbishments done so that we could take back some of our cancer patients, because some of the children's cancer wards in Southampton were being used instead of our local hospitals.
Got it.
Because we weren't fit for purpose. So we've made those adjustments. But that was a £400,000 appeal.
Oh, wowzers.
And yeah, and you know, it's a big thing to do, but that was, you know, the charity took that on as the Lions appeal. So that was, some people will have seen that across our socials and in our hospitals over the last couple of years.
Like that, we had a great time, and we're looking forward to next year's as well, by the way. So you're talking about the team. So what's your roles in the charities team?
Okay, so my role is we're part of a small team. So there's 3 fundraisers. So we have Sabrina Marston, who's our fundraising manager, who's been with the Trust for quite a long time, but was previously involved in our Winchester Hospice. And then we have Morgan Hughes. Morgan will often be the person who's centric inside the hospital, helping our staff do fundraising, talking about events, trying to help them and do the community work in there. And then my role is more geared towards talking to corporate businesses. So like you do,
I wouldn't put myself in a corporate brand.
Well, any businesses.
Yeah, any.
We don't mind which business you are. So any businesses in the area, to go out and talk to them, engage them. And if they have a charity of the year, for instance, or they want to do any donations or help us, then that's my job to bring them in and tell them what we do. And when we talked about the Lions Picnic, that's specifically towards children. And I know that obviously anything that we do together will be towards children because you're toddle about, which is great, nice fit. But we do have other funds that will be for our staff, or it will be for our equipment, or it will be for surgeries and things like that. So there's lots of different areas that we support, and we can funnel money into areas that people have a particular affinity with.
Great. Helen?
So my role's the easiest one, and the one that I love, really. So I always say I've got the easiest job because these guys go out and do all the hard work. I just tell people about it. So I work as the marketing and communications officer at the charity, and I've got a few different kind of strings to my bow within that. So part of it is about telling people about Lions Picnic and that kind of stuff, and hoping that they come along and help us raise money. But I also get to talk to families and some of our clinicians about when that money is then spent, because it's great that these guys go out and raise the money. People want to know what we're spending it on.
Yeah.
Where does it go? What difference am I making?
So.
I don't just want to throw money into the pot and then suddenly, where is it? So I get to go and do the really fun stuff and go and speak to the people about how that's made a difference. And I get to write up all those stories and share them with people like you. And it's just, I love it. So they go out and do all the important stuff. I just tell people about it.
Nice.
I love it. It's the best job in the world.
You must get a proper buzz from that.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. When you realise that you're kind of like puppeteer in the middle of just kind of putting these people together, and that money that comes in because people really feel a passion. I mean, everybody, it's the NHS, isn't it? Everybody just loves their hospital. And the chances are you were probably born in one.
Yeah.
At some point in your life, you might be fortunate enough to be giving birth in one, or welcoming your son or daughter in one, or, you know, later on as you get older, you might need to go and see someone for some expert care. So we all need the NHS. We all need our local hospitals. So it's at some point, it's almost one of those, I feel I need to help and give back. And I think that's where, like Lisa was saying, the charity was born out of, really, because a lot of people wanted to say thank you. And it's lovely that you take your nurses a box of chocolates and biscuits and they love that. But I tell you, I think the uniform bill goes up every year because everybody has to get a size bigger because the chocolates and the biscuits are, yeah, there are plenty on our wards, which is lovely. Don't stop bringing nurses chocolates and biscuits. That, you know, don't stop doing that. But there are some people that go, but I want to do something else. How can I thank them? How can I thank the hospital and the trust and everybody who's just, because if you think about, even when you give birth, you don't just see one person, you don't just see one ward, you see a lot of people in that journey. And we were finding a lot of people want to give back in a slightly bigger, more fulfilling way. And that's kind of how the charity was born, really, that as a business, if that's the right term, the NHS can't accept your money. But if you've got a charity, we can accept it and spend that in a really valuable way.
Both my girls were born in Basingstoke, and we had two very different births. Like we had Florence with Florence, Emily wanted to have a proper water birth, and like that was the
dream.
That was the process that we went to, and then we had to get out the water and all sorts of things. But then with Rory, 12 days before lockdown, so we were like,
wow.
It was a completely different. It was very lovely midwives and everything, but it was business, get done, get out. It was a very different world. But they don't get enough pat on the backs. So
it's an incredible job.
You guys being involved with us and we being involved with you, like it just is like right. We can give a proper appreciation to those nurses and midwives.
And they're incredible. I mean, we were on a ward just before coming out, and the bit that I can never get over is how, and I think you have to be a certain breed of person to want to go into care and that kind of stuff. And what a phenomenal breed of person they are, because they're always thinking about what is best for the patient.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, that we all know the NHS is struggling and under strain, but when you're on the ground, every single person on that ward is looking after that patient and thinking what is best. And you might not always see them by the bedside, but you can guarantee they're on the phone trying to make sure that they've got the right meal because they've realised they've got an intolerance, or actually they just really didn't like that pumpkin puree that you put on that. Can we get them something else? And it's just, I'm just overwhelmed every single, and this is what I say about I don't have the tough job. I've got the easy one. Just tell them what they do and, build it and they will come. It's just incredible how they put that patient first, and they're always thinking about what next. And that's our challenge as a charity, because, I mean, we've got lots of stuff that we could be fundraising for, because when you walk around those wards, there's always someone with another idea of how they can make it better. And I think probably just backtracking a bit about the need for a charity is, I don't want anybody to think that we are plugging a hole in the NHS. If you expect it from the NHS provides it. So if you expect there to be an A&E, that's funded by the trust. If you expect there to be a bed when you get there, that's funded by the trust. The staff that are looking after you, all funded by the trust. But it's those added things that can just make that experience a little bit nicer.
So
where we sit.
My 5-year-old broke her arm a couple of years ago. So she was, it must have been last year, fell off a trampoline, broke her arm. We went straight up to A&E at Basingstoke, and the nurses looked at me as if it was me in pain, and they were like, right, waiting room over there. I'm like, no, it's little who's fell asleep on me, and she's not napping. The experience, like they said, right, come through to the children's ward. The nurses there just instantly delivered the best, and like she didn't want the medicine. They were like, yeah, but this one's strawberry flavored, and hey, do you want a sandwich? It's not lunchtime, do you want one? And it was just like, it was quite fun. Like she perked right up, and she was just like, she got given the medicine. That's probably why she was a bit more jolly. But then from what colour cast does she want, and there's Spider-Man and there's all sorts on the wall. And they were like, I was just like, do you know what, this wasn't horrible. Like she's broke her arm, that's bad enough, but the service she got delivered was just like, actually, I'm not scared to go back on that trampoline because I might be able to go get another colour cast. Like I could see
the other one,
and it was definitely like, it didn't put her off doing the dangerous thing again.
That's really interesting, isn't it? Because actually, even on the journey over here, we were talking about things like this, and actually, one of our roles is about making sure the experience of visiting a hospital is a good one, and we all know that those early ideas are formed very early on in childhood, and your experience of a hospital, whether that's breaking your arm on the trampoline and going to A&E, whether that's visiting Nan by the side of her bed in hospital, whatever that experience is, that stays with you. And if you've had a terrible time the first time you go to hospital, that really sticks. And the moment that you might need it again, as a 5-year-old child, you might break your arm on the trampoline. But, by the time you're 30, you might be having your own children and go, I don't want to go. But actually, if your experience was a really good one, going into hospital is not a horrid thing.
We can't drive past the hospital. We can't drive past the hospital without. Are we going in?
Yeah, are we going to get a lollipop?
No, we're not. But
I mean, that's fantastic that she's now got that memory. Yeah, that it's a nice
the older kid, like so Florence, 7, never injured herself. She's like, oh well, I didn't get one. I was like, oh mate, chill out. It's not like get with it. We're trying to put a good spin on this.
I just want to let you know about an exciting event we've got coming up. It's called
Toddle About Live, and it's happening on Saturday the 13th of September from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. at Sherfield School near Basingstoke. This is going to be a proper family fun day, tailored to families with little ones aged 0 to 5. We'll have loads of activities like soft play, crafts, baby and toddler classes to try, live demos, expert advice, and free goodies. There is something for everyone. Whether you're chasing after a toddler, cuddling a newborn, or planning a new arrival, Toddle About Live is the place to be. It's totally free to attend, and you can grab your free tickets now at toddle.fun/live. This is the event to be at. So, what's fun? What's next? What can we see you guys doing, and how are we getting involved?
Well, I believe you might be invited and maybe doing our colour run, Bill.
We are, like, as a family, we love a colour run. The school PTA do one.
This is going to be so big this year. We're so pleased. But it's our second one. Me and Morgan walked the course on Friday in the sunshine. It was really exciting. It's a beautiful course.
So where is it?
It's in Harewood Forest. So that is near Werwell Village, which is on the A303. So it's in between Andover and Basingstoke, and in between, it's a little bit further for Winchester, but not really when you come off the A34. So it's kind of central for all of our amazing areas. But we are at Werwell Cricket Ground. They've given us the site for the day, which is wonderful. We will have some vans there. We have lots of food options. We're going to have a little picnic area. We'll have some stalls there. We will be selling some different coloured paint, which we are encouraging people to throw at each other.
Nice.
Just going to put that in. And then we'll have a great big blow-up starter, obviously, because we say it's a fun run. But we had probably 50% of the people walk last year, and they went for a stroll in the woods. They got covered in paint. They had a lovely time. So it's a big family event. It's open to all ages. It's really inclusive. All we say is, wear glasses or something so that if you're having paint thrown at you, that you're safe. But in all honesty, people are told, throw it at the chest and everything else. Get the T-shirt as painty as possible.
Yeah. So do you remember all those rules you have when you don't throw that at your sister? Yeah. Those rules don't exist at the colour run.
They do.
No, you throw that paint like you mean it. At the chest, obviously, below the neck.
So you both so much fun. Walking, running?
I'll be walking. I normally am the one that goes to walk at the back and make sure we haven't left anybody covered in paint in the forest.
Right.
So I do that. And we have some wonderful sponsors. So we've got some wonderful sponsors taking part. They'll be throwing the colour. So we'll have 6 colour stations around the course, and each will be a different colour. And so we have some businesses doing that, which is a fantastic thing. Last year, we didn't have 6. I think we had 4 when we first started because it was our first one ever. All 4 of them are coming back. So
awesome.
I think they had more fun than the people taking part.
Yeah. Really good.
So how can we book this? So 2nd of August.
Yep, 2nd of August. Go onto our website.
Yep.
So we are www.HampshireHospitals Charity.org.
We'll get all this stuff.
We can put this on somewhere. That's a long.
That is a long one to remember. We'll try and link the QR code to a social, and
perfect.
We'll get the website to book on in the show notes.
Perfect.
But no, we'll be there. To be honest, we're going. Whether you like it or not.
It's such a fun one as well.
It's great.
Such a fun run.
And when you book it, we send out the instructions what to do. You come, we'll give you a medal. You'll have a great time, and you will be covered in cover. So the wonderful thing on our website and on there is Helen took that picture. I'd just like to say.
Fancy.
She took that picture. It did look like
that last year. We need a new picture this year.
That one might be used for years to come.
It was awesome.
I will give you a warning though. Anyone coming along, make sure you bring black plastic bags for the drive home.
Yes.
Because that
it's not our first rodeo, Helen.
Forever.
We've done this before.
It's so much fun, and you will be covered.
So on that note, like when we've booked our ticket, a question that as a parent I'd want to know: are we bringing our own white T-shirt? Are you supplying the T-shirt? How does that work?
We supply the T-shirts.
Oh, wow.
So you can register and you get your T-shirt. Obviously your Hampshire Hospitals T-shirt.
Super.
Round it up, and then we colour it in as much colour as possible.
Well,
It won't be white by the time you finish.
No.
Trust me.
no point trying to wash it out either.
You say that. I'll be honest with you. My charity T-shirt, which is my I'm staff T-shirt, still has connotations of blue, I believe, from the lovely Hilden team last year. So I may have a slight, not
Tinge.
quite white.
Well, we're definitely coming, and I'm going to let all. We've got a bit of build up towards the summer. Obviously, we're walking into the summer issue, and we're going to tell everybody about all the events coming up. You guys are pride of place. You've got your awesome advert in the magazine for the summer issue,
Very
as well
excited.
as yeah, you're on our events page.
Oh, thank you.
That's wonderful.
Okay, so that's August.
Yes.
We've got Toddler About Live at the beginning of September. But have you got anything between that and?
We've got no large participation events.
Okay.
So we will have September.
Oh.
So I did September last year, and it's because our porters walk 18,000 steps or more a day.
That's nuts.
I know. I thought, I can do that. I walk my dog twice a day. No problem at all. Turns out it's about 3 hours of really, I'm concentrating
hiking.
on walking. And I thought I'd broken my dog. I mean, I'm dragging him out of bed at 6:15 in the morning going, come on, Mummy's got to do 18,000 steps.
You can do it without me.
At the end of September, when it was October, I went, oh, it's October, we made it. And then he's like, Mummy, let's go and do 18. I'm like, no, Mummy's having a rest. It's October, it's over.
Come back next year.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was fantastic. We are going to have different stages because it was the first year that we'd launched it. So again, we needed to try it out. So we tried different things out on doing that. It's not the steps, I don't think. The steps, it's the time it takes when you are at work or... so I think we're going to have different levels. It'll be launched a little bit differently this year.
Okay.
But it was a real success. We loved it. And it will be back because it's a really good fitness thing. It's a nice thing that you can do whenever you want.
The weather's still all right in September as well.
Yeah, definitely. I had some lovely pictures of me out and the sun rising. Oh, it was lovely.
We had some really lovely feedback last year, actually, that I think people they loved to do a sponsored walk in their own time, and that was lovely, and they wanted to raise the money, and it's all wonderful. But the best feedback was, do you know what? I actually liked having an hour or two to myself each day.
Yeah.
That was they'd carved out the time, whether that was you got home and before
So
you
important.
before you did dinner, and just to go out and have a walk. And a lot of people did it on their own because they just wanted that calmness and that space. Some people did it with friends and family, and it's just to be able to have that time to yourself. How often do we get that now? It's
You're
rare.
absolutely right.
It's rare.
I did miss it. And I think as the year got shorter, I thought, I'll carry on doing this. And then it was really dark in the morning. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Getting dark, getting a bit miserable.
Absolutely.
That's why we don't do it in January.
No, we don't.
And September has quite a good ring in September.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work in January.
So yeah, we're doing that. And that's a great thing to get involved in. And yeah.
I will do my best. We obviously we've got Eric the dog, and we take him out, and he's getting he's a good boy. He's still a springer, and he's loopy when he's off the lead. But we're walking, but we like walking as a family. So 18,000 steps with a 5-year-old is tricky, but I'll make her do it.
I think there will be other options. Don't underestimate how hard the 18,000 steps are, Bill. Trying to pick myself up here.
There's no illusions. I will struggle. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough that, but
So we got September the 13th. Toddler About Live.
Yes.
You are at mine. Toddler About's chosen charity for Hampshire.
We're all
Thank
yours
you.
on that day, Bill.
What can we expect? What have we got going on?
Wow. So we are going to bring all of our lovely marketing. So we'll have some banners and we'll have a nice stall and we'll be coming and doing a nice talk for you. Can't wait to do that. So we're going to stand up and talk to everybody about Hampshire Hospitals Charity and some of the things we've done. It will be more around the child things that we've done.
Yeah.
And we might talk about some of the projects that we did last year. So when we started getting involved in our VR headsets and getting involved in and building our new Basingstoke sensory room, which we're very proud of. So those kinds of things, just to tell parents of children some of the things that we're doing to make their visit more comfortable, and like you say, more of a nice experience than I'm frightened and I don't want to go again. Because that's what it's all about. It's making them feel comfortable, and if they've got to have a procedure or they've got to have a test of some kind, that it's not a horrible experience for them. So yeah, we'll have a chat about that. We will be doing some raffling, I believe.
We've started, we're speaking to all the exhibitors. We've put an email asking for prizes. So there's prizes coming in from us.
Amazing.
We've got all sorts of classes and products and all sort of stuff. So we've got some cool prizes for you.
Brilliant. Me and Morgan will be going around talking about them and selling everybody we can get our hands on with raffle tickets.
That's like
shaking that bucket.
Shake the bucket. This is like, as much as we're here to promote the event and show what, like, it's a community magazine for like everything what's on locally and things like that, but it's our chance as parents to give back and sort of say, well, pretty much all these children would have been born in a Hampshire hospital. So there will be a bit of like pulling on heartstrings here. So like in the show notes, what we're trying to do is get, because I'm assuming we can donate through the website.
Absolutely, we've got options on that, and you can donate your own amount, or you can click and there's a 5 and a 10 and a 25. But and we're actually getting some small cuddly toys and that donated. So any parents that are trying to avoid cuddly toys, please don't avoid us.
You can never have enough, can you?
Apparently, some parents are.
You can tell I'm not a parent, can't you?
We can't bring any more in the house.
Well, we've got a rule. Like the girls do like watching this podcast, and there is a rule in our house. You can buy as many coloured toys as you want, but it's 1 in, 1 out.
Ooh, they've got to really want it.
So they've got to really want
it.
And it was sort of like, Dad, can I have this? You can have it, absolutely. But
He's
that
leaving.
one, but we had
which ones go? Oh my God, which one are you going to sacrifice?
Which one are you going to sacrifice? But I also sort of said, if you can't choose, I'll do it for you.
Oh.
And it's the big ones.
Oh, that's harsh.
The big squishmallows, like you want a new one in, one's going.
Oh, that's harsh.
So they like, maybe we don't get this one. So great choice, girls.
Good choice. Good choice.
If we've got parents watching who want to donate cuddly toys, could they donate them to you?
They can. What we would say is get in touch with us. So we'll, with the web address on the website, there's a hh.charity email. So that goes to our whole team. So if they have things they want to donate, please do get in touch with us. We're a little bit short on storage, so we have to manage that a little bit. But we do accept donations. Because I know, absolutely, we do.
I've got a whole class WhatsApp of parents with too many toys. So we like, if there's a shout out that you want to do, like we're short of this thing and that thing, like that is something Toddle About can help with.
Perfect. We will update you.
Definitely get in touch, because we've got all the comms through the socials and the Facebook and now the podcast. We can obviously get in touch with more listeners and readers.
And sometimes we do have a shout out from our play teams or our children's wards, in the hospitals, to say, we'd like to do a call out for books or something, and they want to change them, because they sent to have the books.
Well, I'm at your disposal, so let me know how I can help.
Thank you.
Because we can reach the masses.
Brilliant.
So before we wrap up, is there anything that you feel like you need to push a bit more, get that message out there? Because you've got the floor. This is your chance to get that message out there.
Okay. So, all I would say is that as a charity, we value support from individuals. If you're interested in helping your local NHS, we will do whatever we can do to work with you. And we're very, very open to being Charity of the Year. We'd really love to get some more of that on in our local towns. But find more about the charity. And one of the best ways to help us is to follow us on social media and come to our events.
How can they do that?
So have a look at our website. We have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram page. And for businesses, we're on LinkedIn as well. But the more followers we have and the more awareness that goes out about the types of things we're doing, the events we get involved in, the events we put on, and how we spend money and what we need, the better. So please follow us, share our story, come to our events. And if you'd like to get involved anymore, please get in touch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a blast.
Thank you for choosing your charity.
Oh,
really, really overwhelmed.
Not a problem. Great. So that's it for today's episode of Tod Talks. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you found something helpful, heartwarming, or just plain inspiring from today's chat. If you're a parent listening, I'd love to know, what do you want to hear more of? More behind the scenes with local classes, tips from experts, honest stories from fellow parents? Drop me a message at todtalks@toddleabout.co.uk. This podcast is for you. and your voice really matters. And if you're a local business helping families and thinking, I'd love to be part of this, well, you can. Get in touch and we'll have a chat about how we can shine the light on what you do and connect you with families who need you. So until next time, take care, give your little ones an extra cuddle today, and remember, we're in this together.